the first things that we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that we addressed a number of different environmental areas of concern with regard to what businesses do, and we branched out later to nonprofits and to the government agencies. But really, if you focus on businesses and you look at the impact of what the average business is on the environment, I think it's pretty easy to overlook what that impact might be. But as you start to break it out into different areas, you start to see that it does kind of cut across a pretty wide swath. So if you take a top-down look at a business, you'll see that they'll have office infrastructure and they'll have office employees. All of those office employees are out there contributing to global warming in their commutes to work. Once they get to work, they're contributing to boreal forests being cut down and clear-cut with the paper, the virgin paper that they use. Everything from their pens to their computers are filled with toxic stuff that they use and that eventually gets landfilled and put back out into the environment. Their water use while they're at work is usually using bottled water as opposed to tap water. So you've got a waste issue and you've got an energy issue in terms of delivering that water to them. Everything that an office worker does has got some form of environmental impact. And very rarely is that impact positive. Then you've got people that are on the road. Those people that are on the road, obviously they're consuming fuel. And they're, going out and probably grabbing bottled water during the course of their day, and if they're wearing sunscreens or they're wearing bug repellents as part of what they do, there's toxins in there, or just other chemical processes to create these things that are pretty intensive. So coming across a kind of a wide swath there, you can already see that any type of office worker or employee has got some form of environmental impact. Now, that in itself could be bad enough, but it's really not the full picture of what business environmental impacts are. Particularly manufacturing companies are responsible to a great extent for chemical processes to make things, especially folks that use a lot of plastics or deal in a lot of paper. Beyond that, you've got businesses in terms of their waste issues and all the stuff that they produce, just employees there while they're there. Let's say all these cardboard boxes come in, and they have all this plastic shrink wrap around what they have. So they've got this waste issue that's associated with what they do. Just being in a building takes energy. Buildings are about 25% of, different statistics out there, but between 25% and 35% of all the different energy use that's out there. It's actually a bigger sector than transportation for energy use. You've got all of the different supply chain issues that come up with what's shipped into your doors and waste to the end. And then you've also got just a number of different things, like in terms of stuff that you would normally not even think of. Like, okay, you've got all these people working in a building. What if you get a pest control problem? What kind of chemicals and nasty poisons are being used there to kill off pests in these big buildings? So it's just massive amount of environmental impact, and it goes across a lot of different areas, as you can already hear. So what we try to do to address some of that is to isolate ways for businesses to go out and look at what they do right today and what they do wrong today for the environment. But we wanted to go very, very deeply into that. So what we did do is we said, okay, let's brainstorm a bunch of ways for businesses to be environmentally friendly, or at least the questions that they should ask. That brainstorming session took about, 4 hours to come up with 104 ways for businesses to be more environmentally friendly. To find the right answers to those questions, though, it took a period of over 6 months. And it probably requires that level of detailed work every year to not a whole 6 months again, but it does require that you go through the process every year to resharpen your answers because things change. So there's a lot that went into that 104 ways that we came up with for companies to be more environmentally friendly. What we broke it out into is we tried to qualify it into different, or to break it out into different areas. We came up with office supplies. These would be 6 different categories that we came up with. We came up with office supplies, energy consumption production, reduce, reuse, recycle being the third category, infrastructure and construction being the fourth category, vendors and business partners being five, and then corporate kindness. That's an area that we developed ourselves for the sixth category. Just a little word on corporate kindness because it doesn't have that immediate ring to the ear that others do. Things that companies can proactively do that don't exactly have to do with their normal operations. For example, like, do they donate to any environmental nonprofits? Do they volunteer man hours to nonprofits? And do they have things like 401k investment options that are sustainable options in their portfolios? Would be things that are under their corporate kindness framework.